In this video, I'm going to show you how to relieve tight hip flexors for instant pain relief. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, I'm going to go over easy, effective hip flexor stretching exercises that are going to deal with tightness, discomfort, pain around the legs, around the groin, around the hips. All of these exercises hit the hip flexors just a little bit differently. So go through all of them, take what is most effective at getting rid of that tightness and pain. As a bonus, all of these exercises can be done at home, don't require any special equipment, and may give quick pain or discomfort relief, even in as little as 30 seconds. So let's get started and get rid of those tight hip flexors right now. One of my absolute favorite stretches is a yoga pose called the Cobra pose because it hits so much throughout the body, including those hip flexors. But let's take the Cobra pose, modify it to hit the hip flexors just a little bit more. What I'm going to do is lay on my stomach like this, go next to a door or a wall, bend the knees roughly at 90 degrees, put the feet flat against the wall just like this, and I'm going to press into it with my toes. You should already start to feel a very comfortable stretch into the front of the legs, over the quadriceps, into those hip flexors. I'm going to start off with what is known as a half cobra or a press-up stretch. So I'm going to prop my back up on my elbows just like this. We also want to keep the pelvis, the hips, the legs flat as possible during this exercise, so don't lift up on them. When you do this, you should feel a very comfortable stretch throughout the whole back, into the pelvis, into those hip flexors in the front of the leg. Once we hit that comfortable stretch, let's hold this for 30 seconds. Do nice, slow, controlled breathing also. You want this to just allow tension to be released throughout the whole body. When you need a break, just come back down like this, take a breather, and then repeat for 5 complete repetitions. With each repetition, try to go more into extension, lift the back up just a little bit more, because it's only going to help intensify that stretch into those hip flexors. To take this one to the next level, we can then move to the full Cobra. So instead of going up on our elbows, we're going to take our hands like this and then press up like this. If you notice, I cannot straighten my arms completely. I don't have the flexibility, but some of you might. So really challenge yourself to try to drive the back into extension as much as you can, but only go to a comfortable stretch. You should really focus on feeling this into the front of the leg over those hip flexors. But you want to do this one for 5 complete repetitions, holding for 30 seconds each. And with each repetition, challenge yourself to go up just a little bit more, because again, hopefully that will release those hip flexors even more, giving you more relief. This hip flexor exercise is known as a straight leg hover, and it helps stretch and strengthen the hip flexors at the same time. We just need to go next to a wall, put our back flush against it. During this exercise, I'm going to keep my knee straight. I'm going to lift up on my leg just like this, and you should feel it through the hips, and you should really feel the hip flexors firing on the side that you're focusing on. We need 2 ordinary objects. Start off with a pair of shoes. What I'm going to do is just lift that leg up like this, keep it straight, and then move it over to the side, and then slowly lower the heel down towards the floor. And then I'm going to go back to the starting point. And then I'm just going to go on the other side and repeat. When you do this, you should really feel those muscles into those hip flexors really starting to fire. When I'm doing this, I'm already trying to feel my knees start to buckle, so you really want to focus on keeping that straight, so you're putting a lot into those hip flexors. But you want to do this nice and slowly for about 10 repetitions. From there, you can just relax and repeat. If you want to make this more challenging, you can spread the objects out. You can also make them taller, so use something like a soup can or a water bottle, and you can also throw more objects in to make it a little bit more challenging, kind of like an obstacle course. But when you're done on one side, always switch to the other to keep them both in balance. One of my personal favorite hip flexor exercises is known as the 3D hip flexor stretch, because it targets so much in such little time. We just need a chair without wheels. I'm going to be using a metal foldable chair. Let's go up to that chair, place one leg up like this. The other leg is going to be straight. Doesn't matter which one you're doing, because we're going to do it on both sides. So the knee is roughly bent at 90 degrees. We want nice upright posture. Let's tuck the chin just a little bit too. Hands go on the hips. From here, what I'm going to do is keep the straight leg right here straight at the knee, and I'm going to bend forward as much as I can, kind of like a lunge position. When you do this, you're going to feel a great activation of that hip flexor on the straight leg. So really challenge yourself to drive forward with your body weight as much as you can. Once you hit a comfortable stretch, hold this for 20 seconds. From there, you're just going to relax, take a breather, and then repeat this up to 5 times. With each repetition, drive forward just a little bit more to get a better stretch to target those hip flexors. How we can take this one to the next level is while we stretch into it, let's put our arms up like this and then rotate towards one side. I'm going all the way towards my right as much as I can. When you do this, it's going to feel great. It feels like a very deep stretch into the lower back, into the pelvis, into that hip flexor. Hold this for 20 seconds, relax, and then you're going to repeat by going towards the other side. Challenge yourself again, always to go into that stretch as much as you can. 20-second holds, you're going to relax, and then repeat this on both sides 5 times. How we can take this one to even the next level, let's go back into that position, and what I'm going to do this time is raise my arms up overhead like this, and I'm going to lean towards one side. So what I'm doing is leaning all the way towards the right. This will activate the muscles into the hip, into that hip flexor just a little bit differently. And again, hold this one for 20 seconds. Relax, take a breather, and then you're going to repeat it towards the other side, going towards a very comfortable stretch. But you want to do this one for 3 to 5 repetitions on both sides. Go through all of those motions. If you feel that one hits it just a little bit differently, maybe this rotation stretch right here, throw more repetitions in there, target that tightness, and always do both sides to keep them both in balance. So here is a great hip flexor exercise that you can do in bed or on the floor. If you choose to do it on the floor, make sure to put a pillow or towel underneath your knees for extra comfort. What I'm going to do is start off on all fours. Pretty much my arms are going to be in a nice straight line from my shoulders to my wrists. My hips and my knees also will be in a straight line. Let's do a simple chin tuck like this just for a little bit better posture. The first motion is very easy. I'm going to take my feet and then I'm going to just bring them inwards till my feet start to touch. From there, I'm going to drive my knees outwards. The more that you go out with the knees, the more intense the stretch is going to be felt in the inner part of the leg over the groin. So really try to focus on feeling that good stretch into the groin. Once we hit a very strong, comfortable stretch, let's hold this position. From here, I'm going to do a nice rock back. So I'm going to lower my butt down towards my heels, and you want to focus on moving through your hips, through the pelvis. Go down as far as you're able to go. Once you hit a great stretch, and you should really feel this one into the legs right here, hold this for 20 seconds. Do nice, slow, controlled breathing also. Let as much tension out as possible. From there, what I'm going to do is then rock forward as much as I can. What this will do is activate the muscles just a little bit differently. Again, really focus on feeling it into the front part of the leg over the groin. Hold this for 20 seconds and then just simply rock back. Do this for 3 to 5 complete repetitions. The goal is with each repetition to stretch more into it, get more range of motion out, because it's only going to help reduce a lot of tightness into those hip flexors. So here is a great way to be able to take a very popular hip flexor exercise, the hip flexor lunge, and take it to the next level. I'm going to go next to a door or a wall. My knees are also going to be bent at 90 degrees. One knee is going to touch the floor, so make sure to put a pillow or towel underneath that knee for extra comfort. Let's straighten the arms at the elbow like this and then place the hands against the door for a stable anchor point. We're going to tuck the chin and have very good posture through the lower back, through the pelvis. Let's start off by doing that basic hip flexor lunge. Just use your body weight, lunge through it. You want to use your hips, you want to move through your pelvis. You should really start to feel the muscle, those hip flexors, start to activate on the leg that is touching the floor. Once we hit a very comfortable stretch, this is how we're going to take it to the next level. I'm going to slowly lift the other leg up, the other foot, towards the ceiling. This will activate a lot through the legs, through those hip flexors, so only go to your comfort level. Try to hold this for at least 10 seconds, but you can hold it longer if you feel comfortable. Challenge yourself, work your way up to a half minute, but when you need a breather, just drop the foot, take one, and then on the next repetition, try to lunge forward even more to activate those hip flexors, and then lift the leg up even more, again, to help challenge yourself. But you want to do this for 5 complete repetitions. And when you're done on one side, always switch to the other to keep them both in balance. So if you stuck around to the end of the video, you're going to be rewarded with a great stretch that you can do pretty much while watching television. All you need is a couch. What I'm going to do is start off with one knee bent like this, so make sure to put a pillow or towel underneath it for extra comfort. The top of the foot is going to go up on a couch just like this. If the couch is pretty high, just make sure that this leg right here is elevated and you're feeling an initial stretch into the hip flexors, into the front of the leg right here. The other leg is going to be bent at 90 degrees. What I'm going to do from there is put my hands on my hips, and then I'm just going to lean forward with my body weight, similar to a lunge exercise. When you do this, the more that you go forward, the more that you're going to feel it activate into those hip flexors, so only go to a comfortable stretch. Once we hit that point, let's hold this for 20 seconds. Do nice, slow, controlled breathing to let the tension out. When you need a breather, come back, relax, and then repeat this up to 5 times. With each repetition, always go a little bit more to challenge those muscles and get them to release even more. To take this one to the next level, let's get back into that lunge position, put our arms up like this, and while I'm lunging forward, what I'm going to do is rotate towards one side. This will activate the muscles just a little bit differently. So rotate as much as you're able to. Hold this for 20 seconds, relax, repeat up to 5 times. From there, you always want to switch to the other side also to keep them in balance. What you can do from there to take this one to the next level, let's lunge forward, put our hands up like this, and then bend towards one side. Again, what you're going to feel is the muscles in the leg around those hip flexors get activated just a little bit differently. But experiment with all of these motions right here and take what is most effective at releasing those tight hip flexors, throw more repetitions in, and I hope that it gives it very quick pain relief. If you like the video, please show us your support by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing to our channel too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching.